Su Huan traveled through the turbulent times of the Three Kingdoms and became the lord of a mountain fortress in Jiulong Mountain. At the beginning, Lu took the initiative to deliver the door. Then I won't be polite. Awakening the multi-child and multi-blessing system. Getting married and having children can earn rewards. Empress Wuxuan, Empress Zhaolie, and Princess Hongnong, I want them all. Xiao Xiao Qiao, Zhen Mi, Sun Shangxiang, Huang Yueying, Cai Yan, don't even think of running away. More famous generals are coming to bid and conquer the world. Based on the 9 dragons, forge an immortal empire. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Jiulong Mountain, Qingfeng Village. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. In the autumn of 183 AD, the eunuch power led by Zhang Rang reached its peak. People call it the 10 constant attendants. Harm the people, do no evil, and no one dares to ask. The world is filled with complaints. Undercurrent surges behind the scenes. At the intersection of Jingzhou and Sili, there is a Jiulong Mountain. The terrain of Jiulong Mountain is treacherous, with a total of 9 peaks, each of which houses a mountain fortress. Qingfeng Village. A young man who appeared to be around 20 years old sat at the top. Oh my goodness, how unfair. Others travel through time and become emperors directly, holding 3,000 beautiful women in the harem. Come here yourself and you'll just be a broken shanzhai. I didn't even see a beautiful woman. Its predecessor. My mother passed away early. After his father built this huge Qingfeng fortress on Jiulong Mountain, he also went with him due to illness. Helpless, the position of village leader naturally falls on his shoulders. Fortunately, all members of the village have received the grace of their father, and they still show some respect to him as the new village leader. We've all traveled through time, why haven't we heard from Tongzi yet? As a great young man who has been reading for 2.5 years, Su Huan has read not only hundreds but also dozens of novels. System, but it's a standard feature for travelers. He sat here idle for 2 hours. Waiting is the system. But why hasn't there been any reaction? Isn't there any prerequisite? The village leader is not doing well. A burst of exclamation came from outside. Then a figure rushed in from outside. Su Huan's heart skipped a beat. It seems like my own pre-task. Here we go. Village leader, the group of cubs from Black Tiger Village are robbing the convoy at the foot of our mountain. Now both sides have started. Black Tiger Village is located on the adjacent mountain peak of Qingfeng Village. There has been constant friction between the two sides for several years. But it's just a little fuss. I didn't expect to reach out directly to the foot of their mountain today. It can be said to be extremely arrogant. Bang! Just as Su Huan was contemplating countermeasures, a burly figure walked into the hall. Village leader, I've seen it. The convoy looted by Black Tiger Village is decorated with great wealth and integrity, guarding dozens of people. It's a big fish. The person who came is currently the first warrior in the knockoff camp, Wang Dahui. As the name suggests, one wields a hammer with one hand, creating a lively atmosphere. Strong in strength. It can be worth 10, it's a good hand. Drop. Detected epic level beauty, Duozi Duofu system enabled. Whenever the host marries a wife or concubine, the system will give various rewards, including but not limited to troops, weapons, items, skills. Given that the host's strength is mediocre, reward beginners with a large gift pack. Task. Cut off the Huzhou family convoy and marry Zou Yu. The sudden mechanical sound in Su Huan's mind shook his whole body. Brother Tongzi, although it's late, it's here. Many children and many blessings. Is this system really serious? Didi, considering the host's past life as a child, we have specially matched this system for you, only to help the host fulfill their dreams. Upon hearing these words, Su Huan's entire face turned red. I have been single for 24 years in my past life, not to mention being a perfect match. I haven't even touched a girl's little hand. Shame. What a shame. Wait, it seems like I missed something just now. Zou Yu. Isn't it the famous Mrs. Zou? Su Huan's eyes lit up. She was a famous beauty in later generations. Boss Chao lost generals such as Jian Wei and Chao Ong for her sake. I almost died myself. Surprisingly appearing in front of oneself. What a divine opportunity. During this period, so you probably hasn't married Zhang Ji yet, has she? TSK Lao Zhang, you don't have this kind of luck in your life. I will take care of your wife. Jie. Wang Dahui below looked at Su Huan with a wicked smile on his face. Some are confused. Village leader. Su Huan regained his senses and then remembered that there were still 2 people in front of him. Hurry to suppress your smile. Black Tiger Village bullies people too much. Gather brothers and fuck him for me. This is Mrs. Zou. Never let go. Get it back. Ah no. Save it. Isn't it beautiful to be the wife of the village? Wang Dahui was shocked and said, the leader of the Black Tiger Village must be there. The leader of the Black Tiger Village has excellent martial arts skills, and we are not his opponents. Previously, the strength of Heihu Village and Qingfeng Village was almost the same. But with the death of the old village leader, there is no one in the village who can rival the Black Tiger. Now it's over. It's also about losing more and winning less. With Wang Dahui's reminder, Su Huan finally remembered. Did the system just give back the beginner's gift package? Addicted to Madame Zou, I have forgotten about this. System, open the beginner's gift pack. Drip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the soul of Jiang Song, drip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Panlong Tyrannosaurus Rex spear, drip. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10,000 stones of grain, oh my goodness. Who is Jiang Song? In the Battle of Siping Mountain back then, one fierce, one extraordinary, one outstanding, and one shot opened up the struggle between Li Yuanba and Luo Shixin. The strength is unfathomable. It is rumored that the marksmanship learned by Luo Qing also comes from the Jiang family gun. Sui and Tang dynasty's firearms are unparalleled. A hint of warmth flashed in Su Huan's eyes. The Three Kingdoms is a world of low martial arts, while the Sui and Tang dynasties are a world of high martial arts. The first person in the Sui and Tang dynasties to use marksmanship was placed in the Three Kingdoms. Isn't it just indiscriminate killing? Fusion. In an instant, all of Jiang Song's lifelong learning was transmitted to Su Huan's mind. 5-hook spear, 5-fan spear, child mother spear, overlord Wang Di spear, drawer spear, pair flower ghost chaos spear, and 5 tiger soul breaking spear. These are all Jiang family marksmanships. Out of the corner of my eye, I looked towards one side of the hall, where a long, golden spear, measuring over 1.3 feet in length, was hanging. Su Huan strode forward with a meteor. Take a closer look. Sharp steel is forged from refined steel and is extremely sharp. There are exquisite and lifelike dragon reliefs on it. Simply put. Just one word. Handsome. When Su Huan held the long gun in his hand, his entire aura changed. Show your sharpness. Let's go meet the leader of the Black Tiger Village. Su Huan waved his hand and walked out with a long spear in hand. Madame Zou, I'm coming. Chapter 2. Emerging Sharpness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Outside the hall, more than 200 members of Qingfeng village had been waiting for a long time. The news from the foot of the mountain has already come up. Everyone else came to their doorstep to defecate. How can we tolerate this? I have to fuck him today. When they saw Su Huan walking out holding a golden spear, everyone was blinded by the light. This spear is too handsome, isn't it? And so on. Have you never heard of the new village leader being skilled in martial arts? Brothers. Black Wind Village bullies people too much, which one can't tolerate it. Copy this guy, come with me. After speaking, he rushed ahead towards the foot of the mountain. Everyone looked at each other in confusion. When did the new village leader become so irritable? What the hell are you staring at? Come with me. Wang Dahui is so angry. I was just a stunned kung fu, and surprisingly let Su Huan rush down alone. Hurry and shout everyone to charge towards the foot of the mountain. Everyone has been holding their breath for a long time. Pick up the big knife and follow up. At the foot of Qingfeng's high mountain, Black Tiger used a wolf-toothed stick to smash the head of the guard in front of him into pieces. Brothers, after finishing this vote, I invite everyone to Chenlu and have a good time. Drink the strongest wine and play with the most beautiful woman. This is all the treasures of the Zou family. After taking it, they can squander it for a long time. Oh, the bandits of Black Tiger Village shouted excitedly. The movements on the hands are more sharp. The guards of the Zou family were instantly defeated. The trend of defeat has emerged. In the luxurious carriage in the middle. Father, what should we do? There are all bandits outside. Zou Yu opened a corner of the window and saw the bandits getting closer, her expression flustered. Zou Yuanyang comforted the way. These are all bandits from Jiulong Mountain who come to rob. Even if I scatter all my wealth, I will definitely ensure that you are safe. After speaking, he lifted the curtain and walked out. Zou Yuanyang saw the black tiger and prayed. King, I am willing to use all my family wealth for us to pass by safely. Please. Black Tiger moves slightly slower. The Zou family has many guards, they have the upper hand and have also lost many skilled hands. They rob only for money. Boss, there's a big beauty inside. I saw Zou Yu's appearance through the window and was immediately amazed. Black Tiger strides forward with great strides. He has always been fond of wine and beauty in his lifetime. With my younger brother's reminder, when I saw Zou Yu's face, my eyes turned into a loving expression. Beauty. Great beauty. He has never seen such a beautiful woman in his life. My 17th wife has settled down. Brothers, bring this sedan chair back to me. I'm going into the bridal chamber tonight. The bandits around burst into laughter. Zou Yuanyang was very anxious and said, King, please spare my daughter. Whatever you ask me to do. Where are you talking about? When I pay the imperial decree, I will definitely show my filial piety to you. After speaking, Black Tiger strode to the sedan chair. Zou Yuanyang tried to pounce but was stopped by the bandits next to him. Father, help me. Black Tiger reached out and pulled out the woman in the sedan chair. During the tug and tug, the hem of the skirt shattered. Large areas of snow-white skin are exposed to the air. Zou Yu's face was filled with despair at this moment, and she had a strong desire to die in her heart. Even if she dies, she doesn't want to be played with by such people. Black Tiger comes out to suffer death. Accompanied by a scream and a loud shout. The scene instantly became restless. Black Tiger frowned even more. At this moment, how dare anyone dare to provoke themselves? Are you living impatiently? The bandits converged towards the sound. The person who came is Su Huan. At this moment, Su Huan looked at the continuous flow of people and his fighting spirit surged. The Black Tiger village is foolproof for this action. I directly dug out my own secrets. More than 300 people have arrived. Who is coming? Black Tiger looked at the man's face in front of him and felt a hint of familiarity. Just for a moment, I can't recall it. Su Huan has always been well protected by the old gang leader. Black tiger is also the first time I've seen it. Kill. Suddenly, behind Su Huan came a shout of killing and the sound of dense footsteps. Wang Dahui and his brothers from Qingfeng village came behind Su Huan. Black tiger's eyes turned cold and he said, Wang Dahui. You are from Qingfeng village. The gaze then fell on Su Huan. Are you Su Qian's son? Dare to come out and wander around without even growing hair. The corners of Black Tiger's mouth curved into a cruel smile. He has been fighting with Su Qian for over 10 years. Leng didn't determine the winner. Now Su Qian is dead. He naturally wants to vent his anger on his son. Coincidentally, today I took this opportunity to eliminate Qingfeng village. From now on, I will be the king sitting on 2 hills. Brothers, give it to me. Black Tiger waved his big hand and rushed forward with people. He has seen it roughly. There are more people on our side than on the other side. No one on the other side is my opponent either. This wave is stable. Up. At this point, there is no room for retreat as the arrow is on the string and cannot be fired. Wang Dahui welcomed the people from his side. The Black Tiger fortress suffered slight damage after just one battle. But it also ignited their bloodiness. The moment of first contact. More than 10 people were chopped down and overturned in Qingfeng village. The situation is not optimistic. Without saying a word, Su Huan directly approached the leading Black Tiger. Black Tiger saw him charging straight up, fearless in his heart, and lifted his wolf-toothed stick to smash it head-on. Su Huan raised his gun and stabbed directly. Bang! The powerful brute force pierced through the wolf-tooth stick directly. I didn't wait for Black Tiger to react. The long spear penetrated through the body. Is that all? Su Huan's face was full of confusion. He thought the Black Tiger was so powerful. Surprisingly, he couldn't even catch a single shot from himself. It seems that even my cheap dad is not good. The bandits on both sides who were fighting fiercely around were all dumbfounded. It's fake. Black Tiger just died like this. When they saw the wolf-tooth stick falling to the ground, many people couldn't help but take a cold breath. That's a wolf's tooth stick, how much force is needed to pierce through it? The big boss is dead, everyone run quickly. With the death of the Black Tiger in battle, the bandits of the Black Tiger gang were scared out of their wits. They dispersed in a flurry. Don't let them run away, kill me. Wang Dahui waved his iron hammer and knocked several people in front of him to the ground, unsure whether they were alive or dead. On both sides, you chased me and fled, leaving over 60 people in Black Tiger village. The damage was severe. Chapter 3 Marriage. Zou Shi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zou Yu, who was hiding behind her father, caught a glimpse of the scene just now. This young master is so amazing. As Su Huan approached closer and closer, Zou Yu's heart also trembled. Old man Zou Yuanyang from the Zou family, thank you, young master, for your help. Zou Yuanyang gratefully bowed. I, Zou Yu, pay my respects to the young master. Zou Yuhong blushed, her hands covering her spring glow. Her skin is as fair as snow, her nose is straight and beautiful, her lips are as rosy as cherries, and her face is blushing. She is shy and charming, paired with the fleeting spring light, giving her a unique charm. Beauty is a disaster, it's just that this move is quite troublesome. Young master. Seeing Su Huan staring at her intently, Zou Yu blushed and lowered her head, whispering in a tone. Su Huan gave a dry laugh and said, throughout the ages, there is no beauty. A beauty that is pleasing to the eye is a beauty. A beautiful country and a beautiful city are stunning, stunning people all over the world. A beautiful girl with a beautiful appearance is impolite. He was really amazed. Zou's beauty is not inferior to those celebrities in her past life. After listening, a hint of surprise flashed in Zou Yu's heart. There is such a talented young man in the bandit stronghold. She showed an extra curiosity towards Su Huan. The convoy is only left with your father and daughter. It's impossible to continue moving forward. Would you like to return to the mountain fortress with me? All the guards of the Zou family died in battle. It's impossible to leave Jiulong Mountain with this cart of treasures. Zou Yuanyang's expression was dim, so he could only nod in agreement. Pifu is innocent and harbors a guilty conscience. He can't hold on to this cart full of treasures alone. Return to the mountain fortress. Su Huan led a group of people back to Qingfeng village first. Wang Dahue leads people to clean the battlefield. This year, if the body is not handled properly, it is easy to be infected with epidemics. At the entrance of Qingfeng village, a woman with dozens of bandits from Qingfeng village is waiting here. Auntie. This person is his cheap father's sister. My husband is not someone else. It is the first fierce warrior in the village, Wang's hammer. Su Qin saw the convoy returning and quickly brought people to welcome them. Huaner, how can you personally go to the front line? After all this dirty and tiring work, hand it over to the sledgehammer. Auntie, I am the village leader. I should go to battle to kill the enemy, otherwise it will be difficult to subdue the crowd. Su Huan still admires her aunt very much. After her father's death, the entire village was taken care of by her in an orderly manner. Su Qin widened her eyes and said, I see who dares to disobey you. After speaking, his gaze still scanned the people around him. The bandits who were swept by his gaze all lowered their heads and tilted their heads. Dare not stare at it. Young master. Zou Yu and Zou Yuanyang got off the car and walked to their side. At first glance at Zou Yu, Su Qin was full of love. What a handsome girl. Looking at her expression towards Su Huan again, Su Qin had a clear understanding in his heart. Are you the convoy that robbed Black Tiger Village? Su Qin walked over to Zou Yu and asked softly. Exactly. May I ask the girl's name? I am Aunt Su Huan and Su Qin. Zou Yu. At this moment, Zou Yu's heart was beating wildly. This surprisingly, it is a relative of Prince Su. Miss Zou, is there a marriage? Ah. Not only was Zou Yu dumbfounded now, but even Su Huan was shocked. He is truly a bandit. This is too direct. However, I like it. Aunt, awesome. The little girl has not been married yet. Zou Yuanyang on the side saw his daughter's embarrassment and helped to lift the siege. Okay. Su Qin suddenly shouted excitedly, Xiao Yu, what do you think of my nephew? At this point, everyone still doesn't understand what Su Qin means. This is selecting a suppression wife for the village leader. The young master's martial arts are unparalleled, and the jade tree faces the wind. After speaking, Zou Yu shyly lowered her head and dared not look at Su Huan's expression. Standing beside him, Zou Yuanyang also saw his daughter's thoughts and said, Young Master Su, I'm afraid. Do you like my daughter? Su Huan naturally wouldn't refuse. Miss Zou has a beautiful national beauty and a heavenly fragrance. It is Su's good fortune to marry Miss Zou. If two lovers are happy, it will become a beautiful story. Zou Yu's shy head lowered, but her eyes occasionally turned to Su Huan. This person will become his own husband in the future. How handsome. Someone. Su Qin waved at the bandits beside her. One of them came running over. Command to go ahead, today the village leader will marry and hold a grand banquet. No. Quickly, good news spread throughout Qingfeng village, with red cloth hanging in front of every household's door. The big table filled the entire square, and chickens and pigs ran around in the village. Su Qin even brought out a lot of good wine. The banquet lasted until late at night, and Su Huan came to the wedding room with his head covered. The wedding room was personally cleaned by Aunt Su Qin, although simple, it was still festive. Zou Yu sat by the bed in a red wedding dress. Su Huan walked forward and embraced it in his arms. Your husband. Overnight romance. The next day, the sun rises 3 poles. Su Huan opened his eyes in a daze. Just as I was about to get up, I felt the softness in my arms. Looking down at Zou Yu with a slightly furrowed brow, Su Huan's eyes showed a hint of apology. Having lived 2 lives, I never expected my first woman. Surprisingly, she is the stunning and unparalleled Zou family. Perhaps sensing Su Huan's movements, Zou Yu trembled and opened her eyes. You're. Don't, husband, it's dawn. Feeling that Su Huan's hands were not honest, Zou Yu lightly pushed him. This shy appearance. Su Huan guarantees that no man can control himself when he sees him. My husband can still fight. Noon. Su Huan walked out of the room with a satisfied expression on her face. This is the life that the Mountain King should have. Chapter 4. Divine Horse and Modao Army. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Finish lunch. Su Huan sat in his position as the village leader. Open the system. The first task was already completed last night. Just being addicted to it at that time. Where do I have time to check? That's when I finally found time. System. Give me some strength. Drip. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Divine Horse Wuxuan. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 500 members of the Modao army. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10,000 stones of grain. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a new task. Making Zou Yuhui pregnant. Hush. Big bang. Wuxuan, isn't this Xiang Yu's mount? Unexpectedly ran to my side. He, brother Xiang Yu is sorry. I will treat Wuxuan well and kindly. But the rest is the key. Modao army. Renowned heavily armored infantry of the Tang dynasty. Strong in strength. He has made countless contributions. There is a reputation that with a single blow, both men and horses will be shattered. The Battle of Shangji Temple. 2,500 Modao soldiers led by Li Sai. Slay 60,000 elite soldiers of Ensure and capture 20,000 prisoners. Directly seal the gods. Now that I have such a team, my combat power has skyrocketed. Add the last grain to the previous one. There are already enough 20,000 stones of grain. So much food has been enough for the people in the mountain village to eat for several years. Is the system giving me so much food to prepare for next year's Yellow Turban Uprising? He didn't forget. In 184, the Yellow Turban Uprising. At that time, Jiulong Mountain will definitely be involved as well. He must accumulate strength during this period. He just glanced at the new task and stopped paying attention to it. Even if the system doesn't mention it, I will still work hard. There are no contraceptive measures in this era. Village leader. Wang Dahui ran in and said, suddenly, there's a lot of grain in the warehouse. Your aunt asked me to ask you what's going on. The daily management of Qingfeng village is managed by Su Qin. Today when I opened the warehouse, I found that there were suddenly tens of thousands of stones of grain. Hurry to ask Wang Dahui what's going on. The only keys to the warehouse gate are her and the village leader Su Huanyo. Oh, that's what I prepared for the upcoming winter. Su Huan already had an idea in her heart. The harsh winter has arrived, and this winter must be quite unbearable. There are countless people who starve to death. At this time, Qingfeng village opens its doors to receive refugees. I will definitely be able to fight for a place in this chaotic world. Wang Dahui nodded. He just came to confirm that Su Huanji didn't know about this matter. This is also the strength of the system. Rationalize items. Su Huan walked out of the hall and arrived at the stable. Just as I entered the stable, a black horse caught my eye. The whole horse is black satin-like, shiny with oil, only 4 hooves are as white as snow. The back is long and the waist is short and straight, with well-developed joints and tendons in the limbs. Su Huan knew that such a horse had a saying, and its name was, stepping on the snow and riding on the Wuxuan. Undoubtedly a divine horse. Legend has it that after Xiang Yu committed suicide by the Wujiang River, Wu Zhui jumped into the river. Follow Xiang Yu and leave. Loyalty is evident. It's not good, village leader. A group of armored soldiers arrived outside, totaling up to 500. The Wang family has already taken their brothers to confront them. A bandit ran panting and panting. 500 armored warriors. Not good. Without saying a word, Su Huan flipped over and mounted his horse, riding the Wuxuan towards the direction of the village gate. At this moment, at the entrance of Qingfeng village, Wang Dahue led all the warriors in the village, wielding weapons. Garrisoned the fortress gate. Outside the Shanzhai, there are 500 people dressed in heavy armor, holding a stranger's knife and sharp eyes. Wang, it seems that the weapon on the opposite side is not simple. I want you to tell me, I'm not blind. Wang Dahue's face was solemn. The knife in the opponent's hand is a foot long. He has never heard of this weapon before. Fortunately, the other party has no intention of attacking. Otherwise, he really doesn't have a chance to resist the other party. Step by step Su Huan rode a Wuxuan and rushed over. Village leader. Seeing Su Huan, everyone seemed to have found the backbone. Morale has greatly boosted. In yesterday's battle, many people witnessed Su Huan's bravery with their own eyes. Now everyone has recognized Su Huan as the new village leader in their hearts. See my lord. The moment the Modao army outside the village saw Su Huan, Chi knelt down on one knee. The voice is loud and clear. Everyone in Qingfeng village was shocked by this incident. Everyone get up quickly, we will all be one family from now on. Su Huan dismounted and came to the front of the Modao army. Wang Dahue quickly ran over and said, Village leader, these are all my people, and they will also be everyone's brothers in the future. Hush. Upon hearing this, a hint of shock flashed in everyone's eyes. Wang Dahue was even more overjoyed. Just the momentum just now is enough to show the extraordinary strength of this unit. There are these people joining. Qingfeng village, let's have a big day. Su Huan walked up to the leader of the Modao army and said, What's your name? Last General Tianzhen. Tianzhen. There are few historical records of this person. Far inferior to Li Sai. But in the military, Li Sai and Tianzhen respectively served as left and right Modao generals. It can be seen from this. This person's strength is no weaker than that of Li Sai. Okay. Su Huan's eyes were sharp as he said, There is a custom in our village that if you want to enter, you must have a petition. Now I'm giving you this opportunity. Uncle, take them to Black Tiger village. Today, eliminate the Black Tiger. Bring back all the prisoners and property. Black Tiger village suffered a major defeat yesterday, with a low momentum. It is a good time to defeat the enemy. Okay. Wang Dahue was overjoyed in his heart. When did he lead such a fierce army? Immediately, he led 500 Modao troops to attack Black Tiger fortress. Su Huan returned to the village and had his aunt Su Qin summoned. Chapter 5. Overcoming the Black Tiger and becoming pregnant. You are listening at novel full.audio. I waited for a moment in the hall. Su Qin pushed open the door and walked in. Huaner, are you looking for me for something? Su Qin took the lead in asking questions. Auntie, I plan to open up the village gate and attract people to join. 10 constant attendants do nothing wrong. The people are struggling to make a living. Winter falls. The lives of ordinary people will surely become even more difficult. The starving people carry their way. Eat with ease. It's not just empty talk. Taiping Road took advantage of this opportunity to develop rapidly. Recruit a wide range of followers. If Qingfeng village were to intervene during this period, it can lay the foundation for future competition. Su Qin's gaze flickered slightly. She is a smart person, which naturally shows Su Huan's ambition. Plus the extra 20,000 stones of grain in the warehouse. Raising an extra group of people is not difficult. Okay, I'll take care of this matter. Su Qin agreed in one fell swoop. This matter is not difficult to operate. They have enough food. After the news is released, people who are struggling to survive in the surrounding county towns will naturally be attracted. As soon as Su Qin left, Zou Yuanyang walked in. Father-in-law, why did you come? After Su Huan saw the newcomer, he welcomed them up. Zou Yuanyang respectfully said, I thought about it all night last night. I only have the concern of Yuer left in my life. Now she has been betrothed to you, and my Zou family's wealth has no place for bravery. I am willing to give it all now. He is preparing to bring these treasures to Hongnong County and seek refuge with the Zhang family. But the plan cannot keep up with the changes. The Zou family convoy was completely destroyed. In this chaotic world, even a little old man holding money is useless. He voluntarily offered it, hoping that Su Huan could treat his daughter better. Father-in-law, don't worry, I will treat you well and kindly in the future, so that you can have a great-grandson as soon as possible. Okay. On the other side, Wang Dahui arrived at Black Tiger Fortress with the army of Modao. Just as I approached, a pungent and bloody smell came towards me. It seems that the Black Tiger village was not peaceful last night. Wang Dahui sneered coldly. Black Tiger died in battle yesterday. The Black Tiger village is leaderless. That night, the second and third leaders stood up with their respective people to take action. After a battle that lasted for half an hour, the second leader will forcefully behead the third leader. Seize the position of the leader of Black Tiger village. However, the Black Tiger village was also severely weakened as a result. Is this Black Tiger village? Tianjin looked at the dilapidated village gate and the unguarded guards not far away. My heart is becoming increasingly disdainful. Exactly. Goal setting. There are no tactics. Tianjin waved her hand and led the soldiers under her command to cover up. Enemy attack. As they rushed into the village. Soon, bandits discovered their presence and shouted loudly. The Black Tiger village was instantly stirred up. When the new village leader, Black Snake, appeared, the front village had already been conquered by the Modao army. How could there be such an elite army here? Black Snake looked at the heavily armed Modao army. My eyes were filled with despair. He saw with his own eyes a bandit strike the opponent's armor, leaving only a white mark. Then he was cut in half with a knife, and he could no longer die. Brothers, there's no way out. Kill them. Those who are brave enough to kill, I promise him the position of second in command. Upon hearing these words, many bandits were eager to stir up. The second leader of Black Tiger village. Under one person, above 100 people. The most crucial thing is that the head of the household doesn't have to worry about food and drink, and even women can enjoy it. Many bandits roared and rushed forward frantically. Black Snake took advantage of this opportunity and fled backwards with his several confidants. You guys go and get some money, bring some dry food, let's run. He is not a fool. Hundreds of people came to invade. What about Black Tiger village? After last night's bloodshed, there were less than 200 people available for battle. Not to mention the other party's excellent equipment. I can't fight at all. When a few people arrived at the back door, Tianjin brought several Modao guards to guard here. Are you the current leader of Black Tiger Village? Anyone can leave, but you can't. After speaking, he rushed forward with a few people. The black snake gritted its teeth and charged up with a big knife. Kill me, charge over, and we'll be free. In less than one turn, Tianjin stabbed the owl's head. Black Tiger Fortress, destroy. Wang Dahui, who had been closely following him, watched the battle in shock. When did the war become so easy? All along the way, there were corpses of bandits. No one was killed in the Modao army, not even injured. After cleaning the battlefield, they left Black Tiger Fortress with their prisoners and belongings and returned to Qingfeng Fortress. The news of the destruction of the Black Tiger Fortress quickly spread throughout the entire Jiulong Mountain. The remaining mountain villages turned their attention to Qingfeng Village. Return to Qingfeng Village. Su Huan drove carts after carts of food and property. My confidence has increased. Black Tiger Village is trying to prevent this winter. He purchased a large amount of grain, and now everything is cheaper for him. My lord, when we came back, we found many eyeliner around us. Tianjin walked up to Su Huan and whispered. Su Huan frowned slightly. If he guessed correctly, it should be a scout sent by the bandits' den on the nearby mountain. We are all neighbors to each other. Now suddenly, one company's strength has skyrocketed and the other has been destroyed. It will naturally attract everyone's attention. Tianjin, I'll give you a task. Starting from today, we will select 200 people from the village and start practicing, which is bound to make their strength rapidly improve in a short period of time. Yes. Tianjin didn't talk nonsense, so she went down and started selecting manpower. Su Huan looked north and said, I hope you don't be ignorant. The next day, a message spread throughout the areas south of Sili and north of Jingzhou. By joining Jiulong Mountain Qingfeng Village, you can have worry-free food and clothing. As soon as the news comes out, countless refugees began to move towards Qingfeng Village. The logistics team led by Su Qin began to receive refugees. It is mostly young and middle-aged people who can rush from two places to this place. There are fewer elderly, weak, women, and children. After all, the journey is long, and many people starve to death halfway through. What can be safely reached are those with good physical fitness. The addition of these people brought a large amount of labor and reserve troops to Qingfeng Village. The newly joined youth are all trained by Wang Dahui. Su Huan's requirements for them are not high, they only need to have a certain level of strength to guard the mountain fortress. Day after day passed like this. Su Huan also insists on her baby-making plan every night. Autumn has passed and winter has arrived. Cold winter has arrived. After this period of development, Qingfeng Village has evolved from a village with hundreds of people to a village with up to 2,000 people. Double the number of people directly. At the same time, the strength of the 200-strong troops trained by Tianjin has rapidly improved. Facing officers and soldiers also has the power of a first battle. Wake up in the morning. Su Huan continued his fertility plan. Zou Yu under her has been both troubled and happy during this period. Unfortunately, Su Huan would crazily demand every morning and evening. This made her exhausted. Happy words everyone understands. Drop. Zou Yuhui has been detected as pregnant. Drip. Congratulations to the host for completing the task. Reward 10,000 precision iron daggers. Reward 10,000 iron shields. Reward 2,000 bows and arrows. Reward 20,000 arrows. Reward 300 dark armor iron cavalries. Reward 10,000 stones of grain. Chapter 6 Invincible Infantry. The Evil of Ancient Times. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Su Huan lay weakly in bed. Tired is a bit tired. This harvest is still very gratifying. Knives, shields, bows and arrows are all urgently needed by him now. With more and more people joining Qingfeng Village, weapons have long been in short supply. Now there is a batch of weapons added. The combat power of Qingfeng fortress will reach another level. When you see the rewards behind you. Su Huan felt like his entire body was breathing a bit too quickly. Xuanjia Iron Cavalry. Li Shimin's secret weapon. It is said that every cavalry provides all-round protection. No blind spots exposed. 300 people, seemingly very few. But even Li Shimin only had over 1,000 riders back then. I can have so much to protect myself from reckless killing. Thinking of this, he quickly got up. Dress neatly and want to quickly witness your divine weapon. Husband, at this moment, Zou Yu's body seemed to be falling apart. The whole body feels sour and refreshing. Su Huan lowered his head and gently kissed it. Hello, rest well. I will have the maid bring breakfast later. It's getting late, I need to deal with the affairs in the village first. Okay, leave the residence. Su Huan headed towards Qianzhai Square. These days, Qianzhai Square has been transformed into a registration office. The refugees who have come to join us first register here, and then they can have hot congee food. As soon as I entered the square, there was a commotion coming from ahead. This warrior can only get a bowl of congee and a white steamed bun. Where is this enough to eat? 2 more white buns. No way. The members of the village who were maintaining order around rushed forward. I want to subdue it. The strong man held a bowl in his left hand and held the white bread in his mouth. Punch with your right hand and knock down 4 or 5 people in just a few strokes. This scene frightened the surrounding members to quickly draw their swords and watch the strong man with caution. Stop it. Su Huan quickly stepped forward. In the blink of an eye, 4 or 5 people were knocked down consecutively, and this person must have had a good reputation. Village leader. When the surrounding members saw it, they shouted loudly. The strong man's gaze also fell on Su Huan, saying, Are you the leader of this mountain stronghold? If you say you have enough to eat and drink, then give me something like this. Who should I send? As he spoke, the strong man tore at the white bread in his mouth. Su Huan approached the strong man, who was burly and had muscles on his arms that were almost as thick as Su Huan's thighs. He carried a pair of double halberds behind him. What's your name? If you don't change your name, if you don't change your surname, I am Jian Wei. Jian Wei said that he drank congee in one gulp, cool. The evil of ancient times has come. Jian Wei. Boss Chao's personal guards. Their strength is unparalleled in bravery. Rumor has it that infantry is invincible. This is a big treasure. We absolutely can't let it go. However, this attitude is too arrogant, we must give it a beating. After thinking it through, Su Huan slowly spoke up, You just said that there are too few white steamed buns, not enough to fill the stomach. That's right, that's not enough for me to stuff my teeth. Jian Wei's tone towards Su Huan was relatively calm. He is like this, with a chivalrous personality. The acceptance of refugees in Qingfeng village is a blessing for the people. Otherwise, he would have overturned this bandit's den. Okay. Su Huan shouted loudly, Do you dare to fight me? If you win, you can eat as much as you want, or even take it away. If I win, you can join my Qingfeng stronghold. How about that? Upon hearing these words, Jian Wei's face flashed with a hint of disapproval. These thin arms and legs can't even withstand a punch from him. However, he wouldn't refuse the food that was sent in vain. Make up your mind. Be sure to act lightly later. I picked it up, come on. After speaking, Jian Wei waved his hand. Wait a moment. I see you're carrying a double halberd, how about we fight with weapons? Sure. Jian Wei agreed directly without saying a word. Su Huan asked for his Panlong Tyrannosaurus Rex gun. The two stood in opposition. The news of the two fighting has just spread throughout the entire mountain stronghold. Tianzhen and Wang Dahui rushed over one after another. The Modao army surrounded the area to prevent any unexpected changes. Master, let me do it. Tianzhen volunteered. He had already seen Jian Wei's extraordinary qualities and was worried that the Lord would be injured. Don't worry, he's not my opponent yet. Su Huan is quite confident in herself. Jian Wei has not yet experienced the baptism of war and has very little combat experience. On the other hand, he integrated what Jiang Song had learned throughout his life. I am still confident in dealing with him. Look at the halberd. Jian Wei was too lazy to talk nonsense and quickly attacked with his two halberds. Su Huan advances instead of retreating. In the blink of an eye, several rounds had already passed. Jian Wei was greatly surprised in his heart. He didn't expect the village leader to appear weak and weak, with such great strength. Both hands were trembling from the shock. What a monster! Taking advantage of this opportunity, Su Huan also showcased the Jiang family's marksmanship one by one. 5-hook gun, 5-point gun, mother and son gun. Finally, when it was time for the overlord Wang Di's spear, Jian Wei's double halberds were shaken out of his hand. The long spear landed 1 inch in front of Jian Wei's throat. I lost. Jian Wei looked dissatisfied and said, I'm hungry and not full. If I eat and drink enough, the outcome is uncertain. He has always convinced others with his strength. Today I met Su Huan, who is stronger than me. How dare you say defeat? Okay, then you can stay in my Qingfeng village and ensure that you have enough to eat and drink. Okay. The bed is here, and Jian Wei will not default. After finishing speaking, he patted the dust in his hand and ran to the distribution room to take out 2 white steamed buns and started eating them like this. Congratulations, Lord. You have a great general. Tianzhen said first. As the saying goes. Outsiders watch the excitement, while insiders watch the tricks. He could see the extraordinary qualities of Jian Wei. Coincidentally, everyone is here today. Let's all come to the conference hall. Su Huan, holding a long gun, returned to the hall. Tianzhen, Wang Dahui, and Jian Wei followed in. Wang Dahui took the initiative to speak up and said, Village leader, are you trying to take action against several other villages? All the generals present are gathered here, there must be war. That's right. Su Huan's tone remained calm. I plan to unify Jiulong Mountain before the start of spring. Currently, there are still 7 enemy strongholds. This idea emerged when he destroyed the Black Tiger Fortress. Jiulong Mountain is located at the border between the Sili region and Jingzhou. It can be said to be a strategic location. If you can control this place, you can attack Sili in the north and go to Jingzhou in the south. So, the other 7 bandit dens must be eradicated. Tianzhen took a step forward and said, Lord, I am willing to be the vanguard. Wang Dahui also followed closely behind. After this period of training, the army in the village has developed a scale that is enough to fight in one battle. Jian Wei sternly said, if I have enough to eat and drink, I can make it to 100 people alone. This is not him talking big. It's just bandits. How strong can it be? He has the confidence to fight against 100. Su Huan spread out the map and said, I've looked at 3 bandit dens that are quite close to us. 2 of them are similar in size to the previous Black Tiger village, and the last one, the Diamond village, has a population of 1,000 people. Tianzhen, take the Modao army to the Diamond Fortress, and with 500 Modao army, you can sweep through it. Wang Dahui, take 200 trained soldiers and 200 new recruits to the Wild Wolf Fortress. Jian Wei, I'll give you the last Menjing stronghold. Hurry up and be ruthless. Chapter 7. Dark armor and iron cavalry leaving, horses treading on thief's fortress. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Obey me. 3 people listen to the order. Tianzhen hesitated for a moment and said, Lord, after defeating the Vajra fortress, 300 Modao soldiers are enough. The remaining 200 people can follow General Dian to the Menjing fortress. No matter how powerful Dian Wei is, he is just one person. It's okay if he dies. If we disrupt the Lord's plan, that's not acceptable. No problem, I have other troops to hand over to Dian Wei. Good. Upon hearing this, Tianzhen no longer worried. Wang Dahui looked confused. He is aware of the situation in the village. Where else are there troops? During his contemplation, his gaze fell on Tianzhen beside him. The doubts in my heart are completely gone. It must be another unit trained by the village leader outside. That's right, definitely so. After making up their minds, Tianzhen and Wang Dahui left and began to integrate their troops. Su Huan and Dian Wei had a feast on the square and brought him to the gate of the village. Outside the village gate, the Xuanjia army wearing heavy armor has long been waiting. The magnificent cavalry made Dian Wei's eyes widen. Cavalry. Still heavy cavalry. This is not a soldier, it's all money. How difficult is it to pull up such a team of cavalry in this chaotic world? Is this really a bandit's den? How do you feel even better than the official family? At this moment, he felt like he couldn't see through Qingfeng village. Su Huan also saw the Xuanjia iron cavalry for the first time. The black armor worn by each rider is a thick iron armor that highlights protection and practical ability. Handrails for head protection, flipped ear protection, 2 pieces of chest armor, each with round protectors, shoulder drapes, arm covers, waist ties, knee skirts for leg protection. Fully armed, leaving no blind spots. The structure of this armor is very complete, and it is extremely terrifying to charge. This is a big weapon. Dian Wei, lead them to Menjing stronghold. Dian Wei turned his head to look at Su Huan, and then at the cavalry outside the village. Finally, with a serious tone. I will definitely live up to my expectations. Dian Wei flipped over his prepared warhorse and rode away with his Xuanjia iron cavalry. The target is aimed directly at Menjing village. There are currently fewer generals in the village, and Su Huan also wants to keep Dian Wei by his side. Wait until a cavalry general is found in the future. You can withdraw Dian Wei and train the SS. Within 10 minutes, Tianzhen and Wang Dahui successively led their troops to leave. Su Huan no longer pays attention. After all, the outcome is already predetermined. Arriving at the square, residents from around occasionally come to seek refuge. After Su Qin saw him, she quickly walked over and said, "There are too many people coming to seek refuge. The residence is almost full. This is a big problem." Although Qingfeng village occupies only one hill. But when establishing the mountain fortress, it was built on a scale of 2,000 people. Now the total number of people in the entire mountain village has exceeded 2,000. 300 Xuanjia iron cavalry have not been arranged yet. It's definitely too late to build a house, transfer some people to Heihu village. Fortunately, after the Modao army destroyed the Black Tiger fortress, they did not destroy the mountain fortress. Other copycats also have no spare space to expand the area, causing the Black Tiger fortress to remain empty. Sure, that should be able to accommodate over 2,000 people over there, enough to cope with this harsh winter. Su Qin's eyes lit up and she immediately prepared to arrange for someone to come over. Don't worry for now, wait for Wang Dahui and the others to come back. The Black Tiger fortress was empty for a while, and there might be exiles taking over the mountain top. It's better to wait for the main combat force to return, to ensure that everything is safe and sound. Su Qin leaned over to him and said, "I just saw it. Hundreds of people have left. What big move have you made in this big winter?" On the side of the bed, there is no room for others to snore. After saying these words, Su Huan walked towards the backyard. This day is really too cold. It's better to go home and hold my wife comfortably. A hint of clarity flashed in Su Qin's eyes. But she is not worried. Is it okay for so many people to deal with a copycat? If she knew that Su Huan was targeting 3 copycats at the same time. I don't know what expression it will be. Menjing Village. Located to the west of Qingfeng Village. In the lobby. Big brother, the strength of Black Tiger stronghold is not weaker than ours. Now they have been flattened by the weakest Qingfeng stronghold. There is something fishy going on here. Sandang Hueying drank a sip of liquor and said with concern. We are all neighbors of Jiulong Mountain and familiar with each other. Everyone knows the level of Qingfeng Village and Heihu Village. Now that the Black Tiger has been eradicated, they naturally worry that they will also suffer from it. The big boss, Meng Ying, sitting on the guard, waved his hand indifferently and said, I have already sent someone to investigate. Black Tiger Village has run to the foot of Qingfeng Village to grab business. The Qingfeng Village is not strong enough. The entire village mobilized and killed the Black Tiger. That night, there was a riot in Heihu Village, and many people died, which was why Qingfeng Village took advantage of it. The second-in-command Iron Eagle sneered and said, There's nothing to be afraid of in Qingfeng Village. I heard they're accepting refugees. I see, when they destroyed Heihu Village, they also suffered heavy damage. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been in such a hurry to recruit people. What are their identities? Bandits. Will Qingfeng Village be so kind in releasing food? There must be a purpose. It is obvious that it must have been the Battle of Black Tiger Fortress, with heavy losses. This is how we recruited refugees and wanted to replenish our combat power. Cut, what's the use of a group of useless people who can't even afford to eat? When spring comes, we will launch an attack on all members of the Menjing stronghold and definitely take down the Qingfeng stronghold. That's right, I've heard that the leader of Qingfeng Village has just married a very beautiful wife. Then grab it back, the 3 of us brothers, enjoy it. Step by step at this moment, the ground suddenly began to shake violently. An earthquake, said the Fire Eagle inexplicably. Meng Ying's face changed and he quickly lay on the ground, his ears pressed against the ground. Not good. Cavalry is coming over. What? Fire Eagle and Iron Eagle stood up in shock. The 3 of them picked up their respective weapons and walked out of the lobby. Bang! The hard fortress gate was hacked open by Jian Wei's halberd. Xuanjia Iron Cavalry drove straight in. Enemies, welcome. The bandits in Menjing Village reacted quite quickly and rushed out of the room. Pick up the weapons and gather in the front fortress. The fierce eagle looked at the cavalry in front of him and its pupils narrowed slightly. Heavy cavalry. Originally, when cavalry entered the fortress, there was still a chance to fight. Now switch to heavy riding. The situation is completely different. Kill. The bandit at the forefront has rushed to the front of the Xuanjia Iron Cavalry. The village gate is relatively small, and the speed of the Xuanjia army has slowed down after entering. Faced with the wielding sword, the Xuanjia army didn't even look and began to accelerate. Dang! A piercing sound of metal collision echoed through everyone's minds. The fierce eagle whispered in secret that it was broken. Sure enough. After a few breaths, all the bandits who approached were beheaded. The body was trampled into flesh and mud. He has a pitiful appearance. The bandits who were still sprinting quickly dropped their weapons and ran away. What a fart. The fierce eagle knew that if it continued to hide, its over 10 years of hard work would be destroyed in an instant. This brave warrior, I am the leader of Menjing stronghold. It seems like we have no grievances or grudges between us. Jian Wei's gaze fell on him and he said, I am Jian Wei from Qingfeng stronghold. I came to destroy your Menjing stronghold today. Chapter 8. Conspiracy, 4 villages joining hands. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qingfeng village. How could this be possible? I haven't heard of cavalry in Qingfeng village, let alone iron cavalry. It's ridiculous that I just wanted to start spring and kill Qingfeng village. The next second, they hit their doorstep directly. Hands on. Watching more and more bandits behind. Jian Wei no longer hesitated. He is already a chivalrous person, and he hates these dangerous bandits very much. The Xuanjia army advanced like a wall. Big brother, fight it. The fire eagle has a hot temper. Taking advantage of the alcohol smell, he took the initiative to charge forward with his trusted subordinates. His idea is very simple. Everyone has one head and two arms. Why can't we beat you? Well done. Jian Wei leaped into the air and his two halberds suddenly fell. The fire eagle was greatly alarmed. How could he have expected Jian Wei to give up his warhorse and come directly to find him? In a hurry, I had to raise my big knife as a defense. Tear and pull, two halberds fell. The knife breaks and the person dies. Third brother. The fierce eagle and the iron eagle showed shock on their faces. The person who was chatting and laughing with themselves the previous second, drinking and having fun. At this point, I have already fallen into a pool of blood. Everyone fight against them. Otherwise, everyone will die. The two of them picked up their weapons and charged forward with red eyes. The remaining bandits had to grit their teeth and follow along. But in the face of absolute strength. In the end, it will only be in vain. The Xuanjia army is like a killing machine, constantly harvesting the heads of bandits. Finally, accompanied by the deaths of all three leaders in battle. The remaining people couldn't hold on anymore and knelt down to beg for mercy. Menjing fortress, destroyed. In the afternoon. Car after car of goods and food were transported back to Qingfeng village. Seeing this scene, the refugees who came to seek refuge were even more convinced of their choices. So much food, enough for them to eat for a long time. Su Huan summoned Wang Dahui. Let him take people to Black Tiger village and send scouts to investigate the remaining situation of the village. Such a big commotion. He doesn't believe that other counterfeits won't be discovered. Wang Dahui led his own troops, along with the refugees that Su Qin had already selected, to go to Black Tiger Fortress. From now on, that area will become a branch of Qingfeng village. That evening, the remaining four village leaders arrived at a dense forest with their confidants. In winter evenings, the temperature can be imagined. But the four of them were on guard against each other and didn't trust going to each other's stronghold. I had to agree to stay in this remote place. I believe everyone already knows what happened during the day. The protagonist of the Iron Hand Fortress was low-spirited. He can be considered the most depressed person. The entire Jiulong Mountain belongs to his Iron Hand Fortress, which has the greatest influence. The number of people is as high as 2,000. Among them, there are as many as 1,200 wearable soldiers. Now there is a sudden thunderstorm in Qingfeng village. In just one day, 3 mountain villages were destroyed consecutively. Terrifying strength. He was convinced that even his Iron Hand Fortress could not conquer 3 mountain strongholds in a day. I have learned about Qingfeng village before. Its power used to be very weak. It's not much different from the 2 strongholds of Menjing and Wild Wolf, and the Diamond Stronghold is even more superior. With such a large scale now, I'm afraid there may be high-level experts behind it. Another mountain stronghold owner worries. They are all outlaws. There is no background behind it. To achieve the current scale, it all depends on oneself. He is a bit afraid of Qingfeng village. So what? Our 4 villages add up to 3,000 people who can fight. Even if Qingfeng village can fight again, it will never be our opponent. Today, 3 mountain strongholds have been destroyed consecutively. Qingfeng fortress must have suffered casualties, and we must seize this opportunity. Finally, everyone's gaze focused on Iron Hand. He has more than 1/3 of the wearable soldiers in his hands. Tomorrow afternoon, the soldiers will send out the Qingfeng fortress. At this point, the Iron Hand can only agree. Good. The matter was settled, and the three of them left first. In the dark, a person walked out and said, "This Qingfeng village is not easy. If the village leader goes rashly, it will be more or less unlucky." Third brother, what do you mean? The biggest difference between Taizhou village and other mountain villages is they value strategy. The three leaders in the village are the brains of the entire village. Iron Hands also trust him greatly. It's possible to send troops, but the matter of the vanguard must be handled by the other three villages. The situation is not right, we will leave decisively. A faint shadow flashed in the eyes of the three leaders. If the situation is not right, Iron Hand Fortress must also give up. Plus a letter from a brother at home. He became even more determined to leave. The crowd dispersed and the dense forest fell into silence. 10 minutes later, a figure stood up from by Kai's ground and immediately ran towards the distance. The next day. The sun has just risen. Su Huan's door was knocked on by someone. "Madam, someone is looking for you at the moment. It should be an urgent matter. I'll go take a look and you can continue to sleep." After Su Huan dressed neatly, she pushed open the door and walked out. At first glance, I saw Su Qin. Su Qin saw him and eagerly said, "Detective, the remaining 4 villages are mainly Iron Hand village. We are preparing to send troops to Qingfeng village at noon today, with a population size of 3,000. After hearing these words, Su Huan chuckled inwardly. It seems that my movements are really too big. Scared them all to the point of uniting. However, this is also good. Save him from having to run around. Unify Jiulong Mountain today. Let's go to the hall." Arriving at the hall, Tianzhen, Dian Wei, and Wang Dahui had been waiting for a long time. After leaving 100 new soldiers stationed in Heihu village, Wang Dahui rushed back with the remaining troops. "Do you all know about the situation? Do you have any ideas?" Tianzhen said first, "The number of 3,000 bandits sounds intimidating, but they are actually not worth a single blow. We should take the initiative to attack and defeat the enemy before they launch an attack." This is the result of the discussion among the three of them. The 4 imitations are definitely not one mind. Just one punch will hurt them. They will definitely not be able to break down. Even break it up directly. That's right. I pushed the Xuanjia Iron Cavalry horizontally, they couldn't even run in time. Dian Wei patted his chest and volunteered to bow. Although Xuanjia Iron Cavalry is a heavy cavalry, its speed cannot be compared to light cavalry. But heavy cavalry is also cavalry. It must be faster than the bandits running on their legs. Okay. I'll personally lead the army this time. Su Huan's gaze was sharp. With their Qingfeng village added, the number of people in this battle is nearly 5,000. He has never experienced such a big battle before. We must go and experience it. Chapter 9. Ambush, Kuai Yidu. You are listening at novel full.audio. Others did not refute either. Just kidding, Su Huan's strength is the strongest in the entire field. Did you find out where they gathered? At the foot of the fierce Eagle Fortress. These were all discussed during the conspiracy. All were heard clearly by the scout. It's still early before noon, Wang Dahui and Tianzhen went ahead with their brothers to set up an ambush. You two are responsible for cutting off their retreat. Dian Wei and I led the Xuanjia army to break through the enemy head-on. By the way, everyone should leave from the back mountain. There may be other scouts outside the village. Su Huan quickly arranged everything. 200 elite bandits, 500 Modao army, and 300 Xuanjia iron cavalry. 1,000 people. 3,000 people from the other party are not enough to look at. No. 3 people went down to set off the troops in batches from the back mountain. This is all a small path. The Xuanjia army had no choice but to hold their horses and walk down the mountain. Tianjin arranged for 100 Modao soldiers to clear the way in advance, to be wary of enemy spies around. When they arrived at the foot of the Menjing fortress, there was still no one here. Spread it out. The Modao army and bandits quickly dispersed. The snow has become an excellent cover. Su Huan and Jian Wei walked up the mountain with their Xuanjia iron cavalry and waited at the Menjing fortress. Approaching noon. The people from the 4 mountain villages finally gradually converged. Iron-Handed looked at the increasing number of bandits in front of him and said, "Third brother, so many people are enough to take down a county town. Qingfeng village, isn't it left to us to control?" Beside him, the middle-aged man was riding a warhorse, his eyes constantly scanning the surroundings. The 4 villages have a large number of people, and they specifically chose this open area. A vast expanse of white entered the eyes. "How do you feel that something is wrong?" The 3 leaders quickly dismounted and stepped on the snow. The snow here is much thinner than the snow in other places. You should know that it snowed all night last night, and this place is deserted and uninhabited. The snow should be very thick. How could it be so thin? Something's wrong. Something's not right. The 3rd leader quickly mounted his horse and said, "Village leader, let's hurry and leave. Let's go. Didn't you stop me from being a pioneer? How did you change your mind? Iron hands and heads haven't turned yet." At this moment, the white snow around trembled slightly. No one else paid attention to this scene. Only the 3 leaders who had been paying attention to the changes around saw this scene. Pupils shrink slightly. Village leader, withdraw. After finishing speaking, he rode back on horseback. At the same time, the entire earth suddenly began to shake. The joint forces were greatly shocked, and many people were even more oblivious to being knocked to the ground. Cavalry. There are many cavalry charging down from the mountain. The bandits on one side of the mountain saw a black wave sweeping down from the mountaintop. Cavalry from top to bottom, with astonishing speed and explosive impact. The first bandit to come into contact was knocked back 4 or 5 meters away. Kill. For a moment, the sound of killing echoed around. Iron Hand still doesn't understand that he and others have been ambushed. Give a deep curse. Follow the 3rd person with your own guards. As for the main force, where else does he have time to manage? Su Huan rode a Wuxuan horse and charged at the front, using a long spear to knock down more than 10 bandits, including a bandit leader. Jian Wei is even more of a chicken thief, leading a small team specifically to run to crowded places. A densely populated area is usually where the leader is located. He killed 2 mountain stronghold leaders in one breath. The war comes and goes quickly. With the death of the village leader and leader. Surrender in surrender, run away in flight. Of course, running away is definitely impossible, as the surrounding Modao army has already surrounded them. Enjoy yourself. After the war ended, Jian Wei walked over covered in blood. These are all the blood of the enemy. It can be seen from this that Jian Wei's bravery and martial arts. Lord, if you catch someone, it doesn't look like a bandit, but rather a military strategist. Tianjin led a person to Su Huan. This person is the 3rd in command who just started running away. At this moment, the 3 leaders live up to their previous glory, with tattered clothes and bruises on their faces. His luck is really bad. The direction of escape is exactly where Tianjin is located. Tianjin didn't get used to him either and cut off the horse's leg with a single blow. After flying out of his mouth, he rolled on the ground several times. He gritted his teeth in pain. The Iron Hand following behind him didn't have such good luck. Tianjin slashed it with a single blow. People and horses are all shattered. I can't die anymore. Su Huan frowned slightly and said, I've heard of a think tank in the Iron Hand Fortress. It should be you, right? You can't kill me, I'm from the Kuai family in Jingzhou. I have a good relationship with Yin Hejin from Hunan. Hejin. This person Su Huan is quite familiar with. Let's not say anything else for now. After the outbreak of the Yellow Turban Uprising next spring, Hejin served as the Grand General, leading the left and right feathered armies. More importantly, Hejin has a younger sister, who is the current Empress He. He is quite favored in the palace. The so-called power is immense. A person who can make good friends with them is definitely not an unknown person. What's your name? Kuai family Kuai Yu. Kuai Yu is feeling bitter now. If he had known he would end up in this situation, he would have listened to his brother and returned home as soon as possible. The reason why he was in Taizhou Fortress was also because he was angry and went out, and was abducted up the mountain by Taizhou. Fortunately, Iron Hand saw his wisdom and appointed him as the third in command. Now Iron Hand has died, and I have become a prisoner. It is even more difficult to escape. Kuai Yu, with unique characters. Su Huan has also heard of him. Firstly, he followed Hejin. After Hejin's death, he followed Lu Biao. After Lu Biao's death, he took Lu Biao's son and defected to Cao Cao. Finally, he also held a prestigious official position. Not to mention anything else, just this power is really impressive. After learning of his surrender, Cao Cao even said, I am not happy with Jingzhou, I am happy with Kuai Yidu heir. It can be seen from this that this person has extraordinary abilities. Although this person may not be comparable to the top strategists of the three kingdoms, he has a good eye and can be used. Would you like to join my Qingfeng village? Su Huan took the initiative to throw out an olive branch. There is no shortage of generals in the village now, only strategists are needed. Kuai Yu hesitated for a moment and scanned the surroundings. Heavy cavalry, heavy armor, and even the bandits over there are well-trained. Where does this look like a bandit's den? This scene made him feel a bit tempted. Following such a person may truly lead to a great achievement. Kuai Yu is willing to enter Qingfeng village. Kuai Yu bowed to Su Huanglong. Su Huan quickly lifted him up and said, okay. From now on, you will serve as my staff and receive the same treatment as a military officer. Thank you very much, Lord. Kuai Yu felt a hint of bitterness in his heart. Just looking at the salary, it's okay, but the staff is far inferior to a military officer. But he knew he was a surrendered general and had no choice but to follow Su Huan's arrangements. Chapter 10. Bian Shi. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Tianzhen and others led their troops to various mountain villages. In this battle, the four villages have exhausted everything. Most of the ones that can be fought have been taken to the battlefield. The defense of the village was virtually non-existent and soon all of it fell. The Iron Hand Fortress personally managed by Su Huan. Drop. Epic level beauty detected, task awarded. Concubine the brilliant Lady Bien's. Can't it be Mrs. Bian? Su Huan's eyes were filled with suspicion. This is a big shot. After marrying Chao Aman, she gave birth to Chao Pai, Chao Zhang, Chao Ji, and Chao Xiong. Among them, Chao Pai inherited the throne and declared himself emperor after Cao Cao's death. If I cut off her beard myself, will there still be these people in the future? However, it must be said that Mrs. Bian is truly capable of giving birth. In theory, during this period, Cao Cao should have married the Bian family long ago. Why did it appear here? Su Huan pondered while accelerating his pace. According to the system's guidance, Su Huan arrived outside a side room. On this side room, there is still a large lock hanging. Where is this place? Su Huan turned his head to look at Kuai Yu, who was following behind him. Kuai Yu said truthfully, "This is the beauty that Iron Hand snatched back yesterday afternoon, because we need to discuss the matter of dealing with Qingfeng's stronghold. We haven't had a chance tonight. Did you snatch it back?" Surprisingly, using the same methods as oneself. "But this time, I'm afraid I'll have to lower myself again." Su Huan waved his long spear and stabbed the big lock in front of him with a single shot. "Push the door to enter." Bian was sitting on the bed at this moment, feeling dejected and as if she was about to shatter in the next moment. There is also a close maid by her side. At the first glance, Su Huan couldn't move his gaze. Her figure is graceful, and graceful, with every movement full of feminine charm and charm. The face has soft and beautiful lines, but at this moment it is shrouded in sadness, appearing particularly haggard. Causing people to cherish. Seeing someone come in, the maid quickly stood up and coquettishly shouted, "You bandits are shameless, let us go quickly." The maid finally realized that the person coming was actually a handsome young man. Halfway through, he paused. Bian quickly stood up and said in an uncertain tone, "Are you not a bandit?" Listen to this question. Su Huan didn't know how to answer for a moment. Can you consider yourself a bandit? Is that okay? I have never done any burning, killing, or looting myself. Isn't it counted? It seems like I'm living in a bandit stronghold now. Cough cough. The Iron Hand fortress has been destroyed by me. Would you both be willing to leave with me? The meat delivered to her mouth, Su Huan couldn't bear to give up. No matter what she thinks. Let's deceive them back first before we talk. Okay. Bian didn't even think about it and agreed directly. When she was kidnapped yesterday afternoon, she was extremely scared. For some unknown reason, no one came over last night. This morning, I heard a dense stream of footsteps. I think something unexpected happened. Now it seems that the person in front of us has overturned the entire bandit den. Kuai Yu left wisely. Su Huan walked out with the two of them. Just arrived at the square outside. Many members of the original Iron Hand fortress were surrounded, and the Xuanjia army was maintaining order and guarding the surrounding areas. Seeing so many elite cavalry, Bian's curiosity towards Su Huan grew even stronger. What kind of identity is it to have so many elite warriors? Master, it's already packed up. Depart and return. Car after car of war spoils were transported by them to Qingfeng village. Bian and her maid were arranged on one of the carriages. Su Huan rode Wu Zhui and followed one side. Now is a good time to get a good impression. I'm Su Huan, don't you know the name of the girl? According to Su Huan's understanding, the name Bian is not recorded in historical records. Everyone calls her Mrs. Bian, Bian. Bian Jing. Bian Jing silently remembered the name Su Huan in her heart. Then I'll call you Xiao Jing. Where is your home? Why were you kidnapped by Iron Hand? If he remembers correctly, Bian Jing is from Langjia County, located in the Shuzhou area. From here, there is a distance of Yuzhou in the middle. Speaking of this topic, Bian Jing looked sad and said, I'm not afraid of the young master's laughter. I come from a family background and this time I was accompanying my father to perform in Hedong County. On the way back, I encountered bandits and got separated from my father. Unfortunately, I was caught. Advocate for a family is simply a musician who engages in music, singing, and dancing with their entire family. I have eliminated the bandits near Jiulong Mountain, and I will also send someone to help you find your father. Su Huan didn't actually have much hope. Iron Hand Fortress is a serious bandits' den. They will wield knives at civilians. If Bian Yuan had not died, in ancient times, looking for someone was like searching for a needle in a haystack. Not to mention that there is no portrait of him yet. It's just that Bian Jing didn't think too much and happily agreed. Riding on horses, the convoy quickly arrived at Taizhou Fortress. The other teams have already returned. After Bian Jing and her maid got off the car, they saw the sign reading, Qingfeng Village. The whole person was shocked. Is this young man also a bandit? Miss, this is also a bandit's den. If you go in, you'll be dead. It's better to take advantage of the lack of attention now, let's run quickly. The maid's emotions immediately became agitated. The front foot had just left the wolf's den, but the back foot unexpectedly entered the tiger's den again. This is also too tragic. A strong man next to him who helped unload heard the words of the two people. A hint of anger appeared on the face. Qingfeng Village provides them with food to eat and places to live. They have long regarded Qingfeng Village as their home. How can someone not be angry when someone slanders their family now? Miss, if you talk nonsense, you'll get your tongue cut. This is Qingfeng's stronghold, with a radius of thousands of miles. Where can it compare to here? You. The maid was about to say something when she was stopped by Bian Jing. Bian Jing smiled and asked, "This brave warrior, what do you say? This Qingfeng fortress is different from other bandit strongholds. Of course, have you ever seen a bandit stronghold that would provide us refugees with food?" The strong man shook his head, picked up a bag of grain, and walked into the village. Distribute food to refugees. Is this Shanzhai so special? Qiao, let's go in and take a look. Bian Jing finished speaking and quickly walked inward. She wants to see what's special about this copycat. The little maid behind her stomped her feet angrily and hurriedly chased after her.